Hello, I'm here with Mike Schuldt. Mike is a county agent in Montana, in Custer County, in the big metropolis of Miles City, Montana. Mike is so kind to come down to Texas and help instruct one of our shearing schools that we host every year this time of year. Mike is actually the lead instructor of the school that I went to in 2007 that got me hooked on sheep shearing. So Mike, why do you come down to Texas and take this amount of time out of your busy schedule to volunteer to help people learn this trade?
Well, as you know, Reid, I'm passionate about getting people started in the sheep shearing. Now, there's a shortage of sheep shearers, and the only way we can get that shortage taken care of is get some people interested. And these beginner schools are the best way to get people started out. I enjoy shearing. I enjoy teaching shearing, and I learn all the time. I learn as I teach, and I hope that I can bring those lessons to the students and help them get started so they can be a benefit to the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Mike, you just got back from...
I went to Australia in September, and I actually took a beginner school there. It was a 2-week beginner school, and that was so that I could learn to teach better and figure out how they're more successful at getting young people started in the shearing. And so after the 2 weeks of beginner school, I spent 4 weeks shearing out in the country there, and it was an amazing experience, and I learned a whole bunch that I'm trying to put into play here in this school.
Fantastic. So someone from the outside looking in, looking at sheep shearing, it literally looks like back-breaking work. Can you provide some insight into what is maybe the truth that it is back-breaking, or maybe dispel some myths about what we're trying to teach and how we're trying to teach that?
You know, Reid, it's no lie. Sheep shearing it's one of the hardest jobs in the world to do. You're bent over. You got a live animal that you got to take care of. You're in complete charge of the care of that animal while you're taking the wool off of it, and it's physical work. But if you learn to do the process correctly, worldwide they've studied the process, and we've come up with a pattern and a method that protects both the animal and the shearer as well. And it does protect you from hurting your back. You have to be in shape. You build your muscles to the point where, it doesn't hurt as much, but it does hurt. It's more fatigue than hurt. One of the things they say, the amount of energy you spend shearing sheep is, if you shear 200 head of sheep in a day, you ran 2 marathons. That's how much energy you burn in that amount of time to shear those sheep. So, learning not only the ability to shear the sheep, but then also physical management, whether it's nutrition or hydration, managing your water. They're all lessons that you have to learn to be successful at this.
Yeah, you'll notice that as I've been around people that are just absolute wonderful shearers, they're in the epitome of good health.
Yeah.
In the way they take care of themselves, and they look more like a professional athlete than they do, someone who's just, running a shovel day in, day out type of a person.
If you're really going to be good at this, just like anything, you got to be committed and take care of yourself, and you respect the animal and you respect the guys you work with, so you try to do the best job you can and learn the best process so that you can be as efficient as possible.
So Mike, you said you had a passion for this. Is that passion because, you love to inflict pain upon yourself? Or is there other things involved in this that gives you that sense of gratification that keeps you doing it?
Well, as you know, Reid, it kind of gets in your blood once you start doing this, just the hard work and the sense of accomplishment when you can look out in the pen and see what you've done in the day. But the passion for the sheep industry, they're just good folks. They need good workers in the industry. And as an extension agent, my job is to help support the farmers and ranchers, and this is a great way, I feel, to further that.
Yeah, so people have been shearing sheep for thousands of years. Why is there a need now to have beginner schools and these things that maybe weren't as common before, but we still had people shearing sheep? What's the difference now, and why do you see so much value in them?
Well, one of the things, the industry has changed. Our numbers are lower. For the wool sheep, especially in Texas, the numbers have gone down. So the continuity of the families that year after year would train family members or friends to shear, that was the method 30 years ago for the shearers to be trained and meet that need. Now we've kind of lost that continuity, and we rely on clinics like this sheep shearing school here to bring new interested people into the business. It's a hard business to break into because until you learn how to do it, you don't make a lot of money. But learning how to do it is hard because a lot of people aren't willing to start with the beginner and let them work on their sheep because you don't do maybe as clean a job as the guy with experience. You get paid by the head. So as you get better, you make more money, but when you need the pay, you're not as good at it. So you get a little frustrated to get started out.
Yeah.
And one of the other things is, as we see the popularity of lamb meat go up in the United States, lamb is one of the hottest growing meat markets in the nation right now. Also, the wool market next to the skin products that we're seeing out there, there's a real demand for high quality wool, high quality lamb, and I just think that's really exciting in our industry, and these young folks here are part of making that thing happen.
Right. So just so that someone kind of has a general idea, if you have never held a handpiece, never sheared a sheep before in your life, and you came to one of our shearing schools, you've been doing this since the early 2000s, how long does it take for someone to get to a point to where they can make a living shearing sheep a portion of the year?
Okay. In the United States, it's a seasonal job. So I guess, Reid, to make a living shearing sheep is going to be tough. We don't have enough work. But if you want to travel the world and shear sheep, if you get out there, take a school like this and get the basics down in the 4-day school and actually go out and work with a professional contractor, in 2 weeks, you'll be making $300 a day. So that's not bad money. It's a minimal investment. You can set yourself up into this business for under $3,000, and that's for an independent business. That's not a great investment. And it pays back fairly quickly. 10 days of work and you'd have your whole investment paid off after 2 weeks worth of experience. Seems like with good training and experience on good sheep, about 14 days you'll be starting to hit that 90 to 100 head every day, doing a good job. If you can get up into the 140, 150 range, you're making really good money. In Australia, where they work 5 days a week for 10 months, that's about $60,000 a year if you can shear at that pace. So that's not a breakneck pace. The real guns are shearing 200 to 260, 270 a day, so they're making about $100,000 a year shearing sheep. So it's out there. There's a need worldwide for shearers, and if somebody's really interested in chasing the industry, you can travel the world, shear all year round. Nice thing about it, it's always springtime wherever you're at. So, because that's when most of the shearing happens. And especially if you're under 30 years old, the work visas are very easy to get, and you can travel and shear and make a really good living.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
You bet.
Appreciate it.